Okay, well, let's start with the roof condition. Looks like the actual roof on the house itself is a new single layer, so they stripped it down. We've got what we call a 30-year architectural. It's a good shingle.
Okay.
Appears to be installed properly. Don't see any problems with the shingles. Minor wear, less than 5 years old. So everything looks like it's in good shape with your shingles on the roof. Okay. Cool. Now, the shingles on top of this patio overhang are older. They're at least 10 years old, different style.
Okay.
And the garage actually has 3 different kinds of shingles on it.
Were you able to get in there? Or?
No. Steve actually called, so we may get some response back.
Yeah, I noticed that was locked.
Yeah, we may get some response back and get in there. If we can't, it's one of them, you know, if we got to come back for the water, we can certainly look at it, but it's one of those things. So your shingles are in good shape. These will definitely wear before the other ones, but they all have good life. I don't see any problems. Yeah. Now, on top of the roof, we do have a need for typical maintenance. You're going to have to do this annually. The first thing is penetrations in the roof. Wherever the boots, let's take a look out here. First time, let me give you a little description here. Okay, so these 2 silver boots here, those are for your plumbing. Sure. Okay, so they don't need caps on them or anything, and they've got a rubber boot around them.
Gotcha.
The rubber boots on the south side like this, I'd expect it to last about 10 years. After that, the rubber deteriorates.
Just starts breaking down.
So you either replace the boot or you seal the connection between the boot and the pipe.
Gotcha.
Okay, now right there where the electrical comes in, that mass there, that has been sealed, and that seal's broken down. Okay. So you're going to want to reseal the boot on that pipe. Okay, these square objects up here are rooftop turtle vents. They look like they're installed fine. And then over on the other side, we've got the chimney. That's the stack for the furnace and flue. That all looks good. Okay. Now,
so the furnace and the chimney are coming out the same there?
Yeah, the furnace actually vents through the chimney. Okay. Yeah. Now, the chimney itself, it's brick. It's got some mortar deteriorating on it. It's going to need to be repointed at some point. Okay. That's typical maintenance on an old home.
No,
on the outside, especially right up at the top. Okay. Typically, it's something you just watch, and then if you have a handyman or if it's something that you get yourself educated on, get up there and refresh that mortar. Okay. And the sooner you do it, the better off you are. Gotcha. But it's minor at this point. There is a mortar chimney cap on it, and it's starting to break away a little bit. Okay. They do make a sealer for that, or there's other ways so you can prevent it from breaking down quicker, but it's been up there 50 years. It's in good shape. Okay. The clay liners for the actual chimneys themselves, stacks, the one that's used for the vent is obviously blocked off. The one that's used for the fireplace has some cracking in it, which isn't necessarily a huge problem, but something that you're definitely going to want a chimney sweep to look at before you use that wood-burning fireplace, for sure. It also should have a cap. Yeah, a weather cap and a spark arrestor cap on top of that piece, that flue for the wood burning fireplace. Okay, yeah, it didn't look like it was connected at all. Well, the stove insert is not connected. Okay, but the fireplace itself is still a functional fireplace. Okay, without that, so you could just pull it out and just use it. Oh yeah, with proper cleaning and make sure everything's okay. There is a damper in it; it does operate. Okay. But what did you say was blocked off? You said something. Well, there's another chimney flue for the mechanical room, and that has that pipe is the metal pipe that you see right there. It comes right up through the liner, so the liner's capped. So I'm sure it's fine. There's nothing that can be seen. Okay. So don't even, nothing to even worry about there. But the other one, you need to get a weather cap on it, or it's just going to continue to deteriorate. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Now, the flashing where the chimney meets the actual roof. There's the existing flashing there. It's called step flashing, and what it is is it like a little metal thing? Well, yeah, it's just L metal that's stepped all the way down. Well, what they've done is when they put the new roof on, they put another layer of that flashing. Gotcha. So the existing flashing's still there, but the new flashing is up, and it's not covered. It's not sealed. It's separating at the top, so there's a spot for moisture to go in. Okay. So that either needs to be sealed or what's called counter flashing. So in other words, your flashing comes up like this on your brick, trying to prevent moisture from going in. Okay. Now they make another piece of flashing that you can attach like this. That will shed the water, called counter flashing. Okay. Not a big deal, but that's going to be an area that's a problem in the future if you don't deal with it, for sure. All right. Okay. Let's look at the yard. Obvious condition. Trim plants away. Keep the tree branches off your roof. Right. We do have a retaining wall here, a wooden retaining wall below that. Now, typically, if it's your dirt, it's your retaining wall. Okay. And that retaining wall's rotten, breaking down, right under your chain link fence. It's something you're going to just have to monitor and deal with as needed, I would think. Sure. Wooden fence is in the same shape we'd expect from an old fence. You're going to have to do repairs, you know, and take care of it, and it just is what it is. Okay, let's stay with this back patio here. probably, I'm going to recommend a rail. You know, it's kind of as a safety thing. Personal choice, really. Patio. So we've got a patio cover. It's been lag bolted into the brick wall, which in itself should be fine. But there's no flashing between the house and the deck.
Okay.
Okay, and the roof, which isn't necessarily a big problem.
Since it's kind of, what, recessed about a foot?
Because it's underneath, but snow load, if we get snow up there, it is the south side. I think it's really minor, but something you should know. Also, these posts, you can see they come down their pier right here. Okay, where they're at, and it looks like they're just sitting right on the pad. I'm not seeing a footing underneath them.
Right, it's just got the metal bracket there.
Yeah, and you can see that the pad's kind of sloped down there. So this is kind of moving. Then you look at the 4x4, a little bit of swagging, a little bit. Okay, so, you know, in itself, probably not a big deal, but it was never really done properly. So just something to monitor and make sure it stays in good shape. You can see the moisture damage coming up underneath this eave here. And that's probably mostly from